Hey, well, hello there. Lots going on, lots I want to talk to you about. Main thing for today is I want to circle back on the Bitcoin front. And there are a lot of forces in the world right now that are picking away at capitalism. There's a lot of money being created out of thin air around the whole world. And Bitcoin continues to be an asset with a finite supply. That's predetermined, which is good news. And one of the big incentives for people to validate transactions on the blockchain so that Bitcoin transactions can go through is the bounty, which is the amount of Bitcoin you get each time you validate or verify or confirm that a transaction is a good transaction. Back in May, they call it the halving. Back in May, all those Bitcoins that are issued for people validating transactions, it's like a title company. You say, yes, 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 yes. This person has an asset. This person has some Bitcoin. We've verified it. Boom. All those people get a little fraction, a Satoshi, a little snippet of Bitcoins. And if you're validating millions and millions and millions of transactions all day long, if you end up with 1 or 2 Bitcoins every day, it's 9,000. It's 10,000, a half a Bitcoin every day. That creates supply, which dilutes the outstanding supply. The amount issued for a fee or a bounty for validating a transaction was cut in half in May. And many thought that would mean, oh my God, the whole system's going to fail and Bitcoin's going to get cut in half. Neither of those things happened. In fact, Bitcoin has been trading in a quite stable range since then, and there is less Bitcoin being issued than there was since its inception. So good things are happening. I know that I'm not a financial advisor. I got to say that a million times so no one goes out and does something crazy just because I said it. But I've been involved in Bitcoin since 2014, 15. And I even made a more recent purchase at much higher levels recently in October at 8,000. So I have a great deal of comfort in Bitcoin, even at these levels. And what I can tell you is this. It's trading in a nice tight range right now. It's at almost 9,400 on Bitcoin and 93.37, up 170 points. And I really think if it starts popping its head above 94, 95 in that range, it's going to break right through 10. To me, there's some resistance at 10,300. But the way global events are going and the way every day Bitcoin is finding more adopters out there, I really think we're at a crucial point where we could look up in 2 weeks and Bitcoin could be 12,000. So you might want to, if you've been listening to me here and there, and I always say do some homework, make sure it's suitable for you, put a small piece, diversify your portfolio. All those things still hold. But I would take a closer look at it if you're thinking about getting involved, because there might be a nice pop headed your way very soon. I wasn't crazy about the market at these levels. I'm still not crazy about the market because I think there is just so much volatility. So much of the left-wing media is basically controlling our minds to think things are so bad. They're spiking, they're this, they're that. Cases are going to go up. The virus started in Washington in the Northwest, and it came across the country. It hit New York. It slammed New York, New Jersey area, went to Louisiana, and now it's making its way out to other places. Florida's having problems. Texas is having problems. Georgia's having problems. Cases are going to increase. The main thing is we're still at a 99.94 survival rate. So 0.6 amount out of every 100 people are not surviving it. So it's still, just on the upper edges of a severe flu season. Many of the flu deaths this year were counted as COVID deaths. We're getting reports now where people are dying in car accidents and motorcycle accidents. And if COVID is detected inside of them, then they call it a COVID-related death. And hospitals are getting some crazy exorbitant number, like $38,000 for every patient that they've admitted that's COVID. So there is, unfortunately, a tremendous incentive for hospitals to figure out a way to say, yes, he's COVID. He had a car accident. He's got a broken leg. He needs 22 stitches in his head. But let's put him down as a COVID patient because he tested positive. And there's all kinds of stuff out there on the internet about some women who worked in a testing facility sent in 5 swabs with no swab on them. They knew it for sure. They didn't swab anything, and they sent them in blank the way they came. All 5 of them came back positive. So strange things are happening, and it's very rare that you see a presidential administration take a power away from a government agency. So the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, okay, would usually be in charge of taking in all the results and tabulating, or who tested positive, who has antibodies and everything else. But the Trump administration feels like some of these people in the CDC are cooperating with blue states, and they are not reporting them properly. So the president has actually taken the test reporting away from the CDC, taking it in-house to the White House, to the coronavirus task force. And I gotta tell you, it's strange. So that tells me something is afoot. I'm not a crazy enough conspiracy theorist, yes, to say none of this is real, because it's real. 120 some odd thousand people have died from COVID or COVID-related issues. Many people we know lost a loved one, lost a friend, lost a colleague, lost someone. So I don't want to say it's not real, but I think the reporting and the manipulation of the cases and the reporting of it by the left-wing media is trying to foment more fear, fright, and hysteria. And I think, the underlying goal is quite clear at this point. The left has made Joe Biden their empty vessel that they're going to all throw in all kinds of different components like a little robot. And you got Bernie Sanders on the team. You got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the team, who wants to take away. AOC's in charge of the green movement, okay, in the new Biden administration. She wants to take away cars, anything operated by fuel, okay, cars, planes, trains, coal, petroleum, and gasoline. Okay, so anything operated by petroleum or coal, every power plant in our whole entire country pretty much runs on coal, in case you didn't know that, okay? There are approximately 10 million people who work in the mines, minerals, and drilling businesses. And to think that Joe Biden is going to put the future of us, you, your kids, in the hands of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that's scary. Let's move on. They want to defund the police. So Donald Trump has a very effective ad out right now where someone calls 911 and they say, hello, this is 911. We are no longer answering calls at 911 because we have been defunded. If you're calling to report a rape, press 1. If you're calling to report a murder, press 2. If you're calling to report a robbery, press 3. The estimated wait time is 5 days. So that's coming your way under a Biden administration. So they were looking to defund the police. They're looking to take away our trains, planes, and automobiles, anything gasoline related, anything coal related. So I don't know. We'll all be living with fans and windmills all around us, or solar panels, who knows. And then yesterday, part of Joe Biden's administration was announced a couple of weeks ago is one and only Beto O'Rourke, okay, who was a presidential candidate. He failed as a Senate candidate. He fails as a presidential candidate. But the one important thing he said during the presidential debates, when he was putting himself out there for all of America to get to know, was that, hell yeah, I want to take away your guns. So he wants to get rid of the Second Amendment and the government take away everyone's guns. Well, there's a prosecutor that was just elected in St. Louis, Missouri. 80% of her campaign contributions came from George Soros. This is all fact. This is all out there, okay? And you know the McCloskey family? They came out in front of their house to protect it with licensed weapons on their own property. When the thugs had broken through their gated area fence and come inside, they didn't shoot them. They didn't even point at them. They threatened them. The McCloskeys had their guns confiscated, and both of them were charged with a felony yesterday. So I'm going to keep you up to date on all this stuff, but we'll take a quick break, come back with more Liquid Lunch right after this.